Hello there, my name is Mr. Christopher, and I'm the site program manager here at Valleydale Elementary with Think Together. Um, I oversee the after school, before school, and non-instructional day programs that we offer here at Valleydale through Think Together. And this is going to be my second year as the SPM here. And I'm very excited for this year, and I just want to share with you guys our parent and guardian orientation. So again, Think Together's mission is we partner with schools to change the odds for the kids. We partners with district and charter partners to help extend the school day and to help provide students with nationally recognized expanded learning opportunities that prepare students for college and career readiness. Think Together also operates early learning programs in some districts, school improvement through Orenda Orient Education, and staffing solutions through the California Schools Talent Collaborative. Our many programs and services are in support of our vision that all students can graduate high school with all life options available to them, not just college, but as well as job and career readiness and any other opportunities they choose to venture into. So, with Think Together, we are committed to providing a safe and supportive environment, and we do this by making sure that we are all meeting these following criteria to make sure that we're keeping staff and students safe. Therefore, all of our employees are expected to conduct themselves in an ethical and lawful manner. And if you do see any misconduct between my staff, anything that you see that is a bit of a concern, please let me know as soon as possible. If I'm not available, please reach out to the school day staff or our AD, Victoria, who you will see on the next slide. We also do not allow our staff to have contact with any of the students. We do not tolerate, promote, or in any manner allow socialization or association with program participants outside of Think Together's normal operating hours or activities. Additionally, our staff are not allowed to walk students home, provide them with transportation from programs, or to and from any other event. As for personal property, we do ask that students refrain from bringing any personal property to Think Together. We are not responsible for anything that is lost, stolen, damaged, or broken. As for our emergency procedures and contacts, in order to support the well-being of each student enrolled in the Think Together program, it is important that parents make program staff aware of any medical conditions, allergies, or special needs that may affect their student during program hours. Medical information previously shared with the school day faculty and staff might not have always been made available to the Think Together program, so it is imperative that all necessary information be shared directly with us. In the event that we do have a student that suffers an illness or accident during program hours, our staff may seek medical help and assistance by contacting 911 emergency services or otherwise securing treatment at a medical facility. We do not provide medical treatment, and we also do not administer medication as our Think staff are not trained medical personnel. When it comes to releasing our students, we want to make sure that we're ensuring every student's safety, and so students must be signed out of the program every day by an authorized adult of 18 years of age or older. We can only release students to those people that are indicated on your program enrollment application. It is a responsibility of who originally completed and submitted the program enrollment application to document all people who the student may be released to, including parents with shared custody rights. Our staff will not arbitrate custody disputes. We will not get involved in any of that situations. However, if both parents are documented as authorized release, um, people then the student can be released to either student on any day unless we have a court document. It is the responsibility of the parent slash guardian who originally completed and submitted the program enrollment application to provide the site leader, myself, with the updated contact information and notice of any changes in the list of persons authorized to pick up the student, including a case-by-case basis. If a parent does have to be removed from the program enrollment application, we do require a court order that clearly and unambiguously indicates that the other parent no longer has the right to pick up the student. All changes in information must be noted on the program enrollment application or in a letter to the parent. And please make sure that that is shared with us so that we may store it in the student's files. We also want to make sure that our parents are following a same respectful conduct. So we do ask that all staff, students, and parents are held to the same standard of the Think Together agreements, which we'll go over a little bit later. At Think Together, it's our number one priority to keep students and staff physically and emotionally safe after school hours. For a majority of our sites, we are the only staff left on campus during that time, and we may not have as much support as school day does. Therefore, we want to make sure that everybody is speaking to each other in a very respectful and calm manner. And now here is our leadership team here at Valleydale. This is myself. I am the site program manager again. This is my wonderful ASC, my assistant site coordinator, Marissa Venegas. She has been with the company for over 5 years at this point, and she is really excited to be coming back into morning program. On the far right, we have our associate director, Victoria Irene Sovic, who you will see sometimes coming to site, stopping by, doing observations. This is going to be her first full year as the associate director for the Azusa School District. Previously, we had Samantha, who is still with the company, just in a different position now. We also have our staff here. These are the staff that will be working directly with your students every day when you come to program. So our very first one, who is my site assistant and my program leader for my first grade group, is going to be Miss Heidi. This is going to be her second year again with our program, and I'm very excited for her to see where she's going to go. We also have Miss Rachel, who's going to be our lead program leader, um, and she is in charge of the second grade group. Now, she was our fifth grade program leader, but she's going now to TK. We do have Miss Karen and Miss Melissa, who is staying with her kinders. As for our older students from third through fifth, we have Miss Jasmine, who is taking over the third grade group, Miss Melanie, who is keeping a combo of third and fourth, and Miss Maria, who is now moving up to fourth and fifth. But we also have our before school morning program leaders with Miss Lourdes, who is our morning program leader for first and second, and then Mr. Jonathan, who is our program leader for third through fifth, with Miss Marissa supporting the TK and Kinder students. Now, going into the program operation, we do have, we're going to go in a little bit more in depth as to how the daily operations of our program looks like. So please make sure that you look through the slides with me to make sure that we're getting all the information possible. So our hours of operation, we operate every day that instructional school day is in session, and we always start when the school day ends, regardless of if it's minimum day, early release, or regular day. When school is out, we will be there. We also have our student to staff ratio, which is a little bit more updated this year. So one of our biggest changes is with our TK students. We are now moving them to a 10-to-1 ratio during the school day. Previously, we only saw this during summer, which I'm very excited to see because it'll be a little bit easier to work with those students as well. Our kinder class has also been capped at 20-to-1 and is now a standalone class, not combined with our TK students. As for first through eighth, we our ratios are now 20-to-1, but we do have a max of 23-to-1. In case there are students that are absent, those students can help fill in that space there. As for staffing, I am the site program manager again. This is a full-time position, and I am responsible for the direct supervision of all of the programs at my school site. And I have my program staff, who are all of my program leaders who work directly with your students. However, they only work part-time, so they will only be here during program hours as well. As for us, we do operate about a minimum of 3 hours after the last school bell and operate up until 6, which means most students will need to be picked up before 6, otherwise it will be considered late. Okay, so our next topic is going to be for our TK through second grade level. So right here, we do have our check-in and opening activity. Our school site does offer supper, not snack. After that, we go into their academic achievement, their physical activity, enrichment, and our closing. So one thing that I do want to mention here is our check-in and supper, as well as our opening, tend to operate at the same time. For our TK through third students, excuse me, they actually check in at the same time. For regular days, they check in at 2:10, and they will come to the cafeteria where they will be checked in by the program staff, given their name tag, and then they will be lined up to go get their supper. From there, We will be doing our opening activity in the cafeteria, setting up little games for them, doing birthday announcements, as well as helping start off the day with a positive mindset. After this, they transition out to their home academic achievement, which is where they have homework assistance. One thing to note is that we are a homework assistance program, not a homework completion program. While we many people may want us to help them finish their homework, unfortunately, within that time frame, we are not always available to. There are other assets in this academic achievement that we have to make sure that we're following to make sure that we stay in compliance with our grants. And that includes having centers for our TK through second students, which is where um, they get to sit and do other activities besides homework, as well as our circle time, which takes place of at the start of the day, where they will be sitting in a circle with the program leader, and the program leader will be doing a read aloud activity. This is more for TK through second. Third through fifth will be expanded on a little bit more at the next slide. Before they go to their physical activity, we actually have our first pickup window, and that occurs at 4 to 4:15 p.m. That is a time that majority of the students will finish their homework and they're starting to transition out to physical activity, which is when we open the gates in case parents do want to come a little bit early. One thing to know about early pickups this year, you will need to fill out an early release form on the parent profile, and I will show you guys how to do that a little bit later on as well as where to find it. If you do come out during that pickup time and your child does not have that form, it will take longer for us to get that child ready and packed up, as opposed to if we already had them ready to go. And one thing to note too about the early release forms, they do need to have some form of documentation showing why they're getting picked up at that time. For example, if they're getting picked up for a academic extracurricular activity, we would just need a copy of a schedule or a letter written or signed by their coach, their tutor, whoever it may be, just so we can go ahead and verify off of that. From there, they're going to their physical activity, and then we will end off with our enrichment, which is usually based in a STEM or VAPA, which is our visual and performing arts unit. For the first 4 weeks, we're going to be focusing more on event building, what they want to see, what they want to give us. So I'm very excited to see how that's going to turn out this year. And that is where second pickup window will happen, starting at 5:45 and going all the way to our closing, which is at 6. Our final dismissal is at 5:50 p.m., so make sure that all of our students are getting picked up by then. If you know that you are going to be late, please notify us so that we know and we can communicate that to our um, Assistant Director Victoria in case we do need to send staff home and we can get another SPM here to support. Okay, as for our third through fifth students, it is a very similar schedule. The only difference is with them getting released at a later time, they do tend to lose out a little bit on their supper time. So we try to make sure that we can get them in as fast as possible. And for their academic achievement, it does look a little bit different. With them, we are offering them Smart Start, which is a 15-minute activity that they do at the start of homework. And with that, they have the choice of either doing an ELA, an English Language Arts activity, or a math game. We ended up implementing a lot of this during summer, so a lot of the students are very familiar with the games. So I'm excited to see how we're going to be bringing that over to the regular school year. Then from there, they have the choice to do either their homework or they can choose to do one of the other offerings. Again, we are a homework assistance program, not a homework completion. So if the students do not finish the homework, it is their responsibility to finish it when they get home. Again, we have our pickup window from 4 to 4:15, as well as the start of physical activity, and then going over to enrichment. Very similar to TK with second, the only one that's different is going to be the academic achievement. And then physical activity and enrichment do have lessons that are more tailored to their grade levels. As for medical information, we want to make sure that we're supporting the well-being of each student enrolled in the Think Together program. Therefore, it is important that you let us know if there are any medical conditions, allergies, special needs, or anything else that may affect students during program hours. sometimes the medical information that you may share with the school day staff and faculty doesn't always trickle down to us. So we want to make sure that we are aware of any sort of information that will affect your child, because if we are unaware that, for example, a child is allergic to grass and they go out and do a grass activity, that child breaks out in hives, you're most likely going to be upset because now your child is having an allergic reaction, and this is something that could have been prevented. So we want to make sure that you're communicating to us what's going on, what allergies you may be having, just so we can be aware of it and we can communicate that with our staff. In the event that a student suffers an illness or accident during program hours, our staff can seek medical help or assistance by contacting 911 and securing treatment at a medical facility. Again, we are not trained medical personnel, so that means we do not and we are not allowed to administer medication. For example, inhalers, any allergy shots, anything of that sort, we are not allowed to administer. That is only through the students. So, if a student requires medication to be taken during program and the child cannot self-administer, we'll work with our assistant director, we'll work with you as parents and families, as well as our risk management team to determine if we can have a reasonable accommodation. If we are not able to do so, then we will have to look into different methods or different alternatives to help support that student as well. If a student is able to take self-administration like medication, for example, an EpiPen, an inhaler, uh, medical pills, any of that sort, they would fill out this self-administered form just so that we can go ahead and make sure that it's on file and we can go ahead and have them take it now. All right, we're going to be going into program components. This is more of what your students will be learning on a daily basis. Okay, so for our program components, obviously we have our check-in and opening when the students are dismissed from schools. They're going to be coming to check in with us. So they check in with us immediately as school is dismissed. As for our TK and Kinder program leaders, they will actually head over to the Woodcroft gate and they will stand off to the side when the TK and Kinder classes are coming up so that those students can get dropped off. From there, they will take them over to the cafeteria so that they can come get supper. During this time, we're going to be doing staff and student announcements, as well as appreciations, for example, birthdays, Thinker of the Week, and a couple of other special appreciations that we'll have during that time. This is also when we'll be doing different opening games for the students to make sure that we have them start off with a good, positive mindset and have them finish up with before they head out to their actual activities. Okay, as for supper, with our district, all of our students are provided with a supper, not a snack. So in some districts, they are offered snacks. Sometimes they're offered both snack and supper, but for ours, we are only provided supper. This is only offered during the supper time, which is right after their dismissal, which means that the students are only allowed to eat that food during the snack time, or if we do have a special event, any sort of nutritional education session, those are the only other times that they're able to eat the food. Otherwise, they would have to stay in the cafeteria during that separate time. If there are medical needs or special requests that we need to be aware of, we can adjust to this, but it is on a case-by-case basis, not an every single person thing. Another big thing, not for elementary, but just a reminder, our students cannot leave campus to get food before or during program hours. This includes if the Raspado man is out by the Woodcroft gate, the students go walk up to the gate because they were given $1 or $2 to go and buy themselves a snack. They unfortunately cannot do that and they can get in trouble for that as well. Okay, again, going into academic achievements. Our homework assistance is provided to the students to help give them an opportunity to begin their homework, get assistance and support from the program staff in areas where they need it. Parental responsibility and involvement in their students' academic work is strongly encouraged to finish the remainder of their homework at home. For us, we are only getting them for 1 hour of dedicated homework time, and that hour is broken up into different components that we need to make sure that we are meeting to ensure that we keep our grant. Keeping our grant means we keep the number of students we have right now. If the students do not finish, that does not mean that the homework goes away. We want to make sure that it is still getting done because that is what is going to be helping your student. So please, please, please make sure that they are on task when they're finishing it and think together. If they do not finish it, make sure that it does get finished at home. All right. As for the academic enrichment, our enrichment offerings prioritize meaningful and project-driven learning experiences in visual and performing arts, which is our VAPA unit, and science, technology, engineering, art, and math, which is our STEAM unit. Daily enrichment includes the following for each grade span. So, for example, for TK through second, we start off with a circle and read aloud slash mini lesson centers, which is just little activities that they can do while they rotate, as well as a circle debrief. So, we want to make sure we're following this format because it's a whole group activity, individual small group, and then they come back to close off together. As for our third through sixth, for our school, it would be third through fifth. We would be going over their VAPA and STEM units rotating. For the first 4 weeks, again, we're focusing more on event creation and seeing what things they would like to see and program this year, just so we can add in more activities for them as well. This also includes career and college exposure. We do offer a bit more of exploring with some of our offerings, and I'm excited to see what that's going to look like as well. For our academic achievement as well, or academic enrichment, sorry, we follow a three-step lesson plan, and this goes with every single faction that we're doing for Think Together. So we always have an open. What is something that's going to draw the students in? Why should they care about this stuff? What matters outside in the real world? We want to make sure we're um, connecting it to what's actually outside and where they would actually benefit from using these lessons. The engage is where they actually engage in the activity. They're hands-on. They're working together with their teammates just to get the activity done as well. And then we also want to make sure that they're doing their debrief. When they're finished with an activity, we want to talk about it. What did you guys learn? Did you have fun? Was there anything that you wanted to change just so we can get that feedback back from them as well? As for the physical activity, we are trying to incorporate healthy living by encouraging healthy food choices and physical activities daily. We're providing the students with many opportunities to participate and practice their skills, for example, teamwork, hand-eye coordination, and other skills that they may use during physical activity. We also are providing the students with a variety of enjoyable physical activities, and for our site, we're offering Fridays as a site choice day, where they are able to choose their own physical activity game based on any that they've done in the past before. Again, we follow the same open, engage, and debrief setup, with the opening being the warm-up and how to play the activity. Our engage is the students actually engaging the activity. The debrief is where they come back, they start to cool down, get their bodies back ready to learn again before we debrief and close off the games. Okay, now this is a big one, our student behavior guidelines. So if there are any questions that come up after this point, please reach out to me so that we can get more clarification on this. So here we have our agreements, and we'll go over them right now. We believe at Think Together that all students must commit to behaving appropriately and are expected to follow our four Think Together agreements. Be safe, be respectful, be responsible, and have fun. Our programs have visible and clear expectations to help support positive behavior, and our positive approach to our behavior guidelines is implemented to one, ensure the emotional, social, and emotional safety of youth, as well as guiding behavior choices to help make them make a smarter choice as opposed to something that could hurt them. It's more used in our programs to help our students recognize that it are the choices they're making safe? Are they respectable? Are they responsible? Is everybody having fun or is it just you having fun as well? We're trying to keep with the purpose and agreement stated above. All students are expected to observe and follow the behavioral guidelines, so treating all staff members, volunteers, and other students with respect at all times. Follow directions given by staff members or volunteers. Show proper respect to the buildings, the grounds, equipment, and supplies. Using language and behavior appropriate to the setting, no foul language, verbal insults, no fighting, and playing in a safe manner at all times as well. All right. And obviously, we want to make sure that we're rewarding the students for following the rules. We don't just want them to follow the rules to follow them. No, we want to make sure that they're getting something out of it as well. So with our school, we are going to be having the students earn tickets to help spend at the weekly things store. Last year we did this daily. However, after 3 weeks, we ran out of prices. I don't want that to happen this year, so our Think store will be open every Friday, and I'm going to be restocking that cart bi-weekly so we can add in new prizes as well. Students are also going to be earning class points for following expectations and modeling positive behavior. That's going to be tracked to earn their class parties. Last year, we had, I believe, two parties because their groups had earned all of the class points needed. And then we also have their super student tickets. Some of you may have seen these last year. This year, we're changing up how they're going to be earning them just by a slight bit, just to help make it more mainstream and easier for everyone to understand. For a super student ticket, which will earn them an automatic prize, your student needs to stay at a super student ranking the whole day. And this is mainly just to help create an environment that is more conducive to the positive behavior supports and having the students the opportunity to earn individual, small group, and whole group recognition. Um, and we also want to make sure they're getting something that they enjoy out of it too. As for the small group, these are going to be done more throughout the class, but we saw this get implemented more during summer. A lot of the groups in there were able to earn group points inside, and that helped put them in a smaller competition with each other to try and see who could earn the most points. For this, it was super fun. We saw a lot more student engagement this past summer with those group points in the classes that were integrating this. So I'm very excited to be bringing this to the after school. And again, as for whole group, all of our classes will be earning the class points for following their agreements and winning the opening games. Again, the top class each month will win a recognition of their choice. So, for example, this year, if one group they get their class points, they get to choose what activity they want to do. Some people might choose a parade, others might choose to do extra catch, whatever their recognition is. As long as it is within reason, we can try and find a way to make it work. Students will also be recognized for their positive behavior and meeting our agreements every Friday during supper as our thinkers of the week. So we want to make sure that we're recognizing the students that we see making positive impacts inside the program at the end of the week so that they can be highlighted as well. Now, as for the disciplinary procedures at our school site, in the event that a student violates any of the guidelines in a frequent or unsafe manner, the program will follow a disciplinary process. Think Together's intent with the disciplinary procedure is to create consistency regarding student behavior, support the staff by providing guidelines on how to deal with behavioral issues, and to create an environment which is conducive to positive behavior. In the event that a student violates any of the above guidelines in a frequent or dangerous manner, a behavior notification form will be issued for each incident. On here, we use them in different forms, and some of you may have seen these before, some of you this may be your first time, but I want to make sure that these are being acknowledged as the more serious forms. We do have our think sheets, which will still be passed out, but these are the more severe and impactful forms that could affect a child's enrollment. We offer off of typically a rule of three. So our warning is the very first step. We have a verbal and written warning. If a student breaks an agreement after a one-on-one conversation with the program leader or site program manager, as well as a reflection form, this is when I will issue these behavior forms. If a student continues to break an agreement after they get a behavior notice form, then they will have to receive a second form, and I will partner with both you as parents and families and my school day to help set up a behavior support plan meeting. This is typically where we start to go over what could potentially happen to support that student. How can we best set them up to make sure that they're making smart and positive choices that won't cause them to be hurt or hurt anyone else as well. Ultimately, if we do see that the student gets that second level, that is typically when we would suspend a student. We're trying to move away from that, but in the case that we do need to, suspension is still on the table. It has happened before. It can be shifted from 1 day to 2 days to a suspension that we think is appropriate for the violation that has occurred. If they get the second violation, we've done the um, behavior support meeting, and the violation still happens, that is when they get the third written notification. If a student breaks the same agreement after two behavior notifications form and the site plan, I will have to dismiss that student from program. I will always check in with my assistant director, Victoria, to make sure that we're working as best as we can with that student. But ultimately, if we see that we've had multiple violations already, most likely it will lead to a dismissal. And this means that that student will not be eligible to return that school year. They would have to wait until the next school year. Okay. This is now our student enrollment, attendance, and release guidelines. This is going to be the most important um, slides for you when you are looking for enrollment, what's going on when we have to make calls about attendance, as well as what may happen when somebody is here to pick up a student that is not on the list. So as for our enrollment policy, we work together with each school to enroll students in the program, and we notify parents when openings are available. Parents/guardians must complete and submit the enrollment application prior to the student's participation in the program via the parent portal. If the enrollment application form is not done, we cannot move forward with enrolling that student. So that means if you went online, you started the application, you missed something and did not go back and finish it and click submit, that application is considered started and we cannot enroll that student into program until it is complete. And that is pending if we have openings available. Again, students are enrolled when openings become available. If no openings are available when an application is received, they are placed on a wait list and you will be notified when there is a place for that student. Now, this also affects based on the grade level of your student. So for example, with TK students, that's going to be a 10-to-1 ratio. If we only have 10 students that sign up and we have two more students that want to sign up to join the TK group, unfortunately, we cannot have those students added in until we have an opening available. So that means two students either leave the program or we end up having them on the wait list until something becomes available. As for the attendance policy, it is the intent of the legislator that states students participate in the full day of program every day, Section 8483 A2 of the California Education Code and AB 1567. To comply with the law and ensure the effectiveness of our program, elementary school and middle school and/or junior high school students should participate in the full day of program every day that school is in session and the student has attended school. If the student does not attend school, or if they do not attend the program but they attend school, that is when we have to make those absent verification calls to see where that student is. For example, if the student is absent, we typically are notified by the front office when they send us their report. But if we do see that students are not checking into program and are going home straight after school, that's when we'll call to see where that student is because we want to make sure that one, you're aware of where your student is at all times, as well as where they're going if they're not in program. Because you don't want to have that situation where you think your child is in program all day, you come to school, it's 5:55 p.m., and your student is not there. Your student never checked in the program. Now that creates a situation where that child has been missing for 3 hours. No clue where he is, no clue where they have gone, nothing. As a parent, that is something that should scare you. So you need to communicate to us when and where are the days that your child will not be coming to program, and please notify us ahead of time because if we find out at dismissal, that makes it a lot harder for us to ensure that the children are being safe, as opposed to if we know ahead of time, we can communicate that to the teachers and the school day staff to let them know, hey, Jimmy from Miss Fogg's class is not going to be going to think together today. He can go straight to the checkout gate. They will walk that student over. They will not take them to program. You get them at the dismissal gate, and we go on with our day. So please, please, please make sure that we are trying to keep the students in program as much as possible. And if they are not going to be coming, to notify me as well as why they are not. If it is something that does become a trend where they are missing a lot of days of school, I will have to potentially issue an attendance notification, which means that this is just to notify you that the students are not coming into program and that could affect their enrollment. If we do see a trend that the students are just not coming to program, but we have a large wait list, unfortunately, that is when we have to take in that enrollment back into consideration and determine if they still deem the program or if we can offer it to the students that are going to be coming every day. For TK in eighth grade, we do have an authorized release policy, and we want to make sure that everyone is following by this so that we can ensure the student safety as well as peace of mind for all families. So the students must be signed out of the program every day by an authorized adult of 18 years or older. That is also documented online in the program enrollment application. If the student is 17 years old or under, it does not matter if they're 17 and 11 months, 17, 11 months, and 29 days. Does not matter. If they are not over the age of 18, we cannot release them to you. If they're not on the authorized contacts tab that we have access to, as well as the form that you filled out at the start before your child started in program, we cannot release them. If there is a circumstance change where, for example, you know you're not going to be able to pick up that student, please make sure that you're adding that person onto that authorized contact list so that we can verify and release a student. For our school district and for our elementary school sites, we unfortunately do not allow students to walk home. So all students will need to be checked out by a student or by a parent so that we can make sure that they are going to an authorized adult. For the safety of the students, we are also requiring a photo identification of the parent or guardian or pickup person picking up the student that can be requested at any time. It does not matter if your student has been going to Think Together for the 6 years that they've been at Valleydale, or if they are just starting brand new, or if they've been in the program for over 2 years. If my staff is at the front door or at the gate and they see somebody and they do not recognize you, they are allowed to request your photo ID. If you choose not to share your photo ID, we cannot release the student to you, regardless of if you're dad, uncle, sister, cousin, friend, fiance, whatever it may be. We cannot release them unless we have a photo ID that matches the photo and name of you. And it also needs to be on the enrollment application. If it's not on there or the photo and name do not match the person that's coming to pick up, we cannot release them. So to help save time on this, please make sure that you are carrying your photo ID with you just so that you have it and we can verify in that moment as well. That makes the process go by a lot smoother and helps eliminate a lot of issues that could come up during checkout. As for our late arrival slash early release policy, late arrival is defined as any time after the normal sign-in period at the beginning of program, 15 minutes or later, and may be either occasional or reoccurring. For example, if your students are going to be enrolled in tutoring later on in the year, please fill out a late arrival form so that we know they will be coming to check in a little bit later. Same thing goes for Junior Olympics when that does happen up in the spring. Early release is defined as any time prior to the normal release period at the end of program and any time before 5:50 p.m. This may either be occasional or reoccurring as late arrival. So if you are going to be picking up your student before 5:50 during the first pickup wave at 4 to 4:15 or anytime outside of that, we are going to ask that you fill out a late arrival early release form and mark the dates and hours as well as days that the student will be getting picked up at that time. So, for example, if this you have a student who is going to be doing football, soccer, folklorico, and their practice starts at 4:30. You're going to be picking them up at 4 o'clock. We need to see that every Wednesday they're going to be getting picked up at 4 so that they can go to folklorico. If we do not have that form or that information, that is when we most likely would have to take into that enrollment into consideration again because we want to make sure that we're having the students come in and staying for as long as possible so that they can get the full extent of the program. If they are unable to stay the full day, whether it be for transportation reasons, communicate that as well. We want to make sure we're helping support you guys. And then if you're not able to fill it out online, we are also going to be having physical forms. However, if it is something that's going to be reoccurring, we ask that it's filled out online as opposed to the paper forms because the paper forms will need to be filled out every single day. Our pickup information, we do have our pickup location set to the black cafeteria gates. This is going to be right next to the main office where the bus load off zone is. If you are coming to pick up your students between the hours of 2 to 2:45, 2:50, please do not park in that red zone right in front of the main office. That is for the bus to come in and pick up the students that need to go and be dropped off at their designated pickup areas. Um, if you are parked there, that creates a hazard for not just the students, but for the bus because they need to get out by a certain time, and we want to make sure that the parents know where the students are. So if you are going to be coming to pick up your student from Thing Together during supper or snack, please make sure that you park your car, whether it be in a parking lot, on the side of the street, and walk up to the black gate to come and pick up that student. Please do not block off that lane because it causes a whole bunch of traffic and creates an unsafe environment for everybody. Again, our pickup times for early release are going to be from 4 to 4:15 p.m. and then our last pickup from 5:50 to 6 p.m. To assure student safety and provide a continuous and high quality expanded learning program, we do ask that all parents adhere to the outlined pickup window unless previously communicated with the SPM due to an emergency. So, if you are coming outside of those pickup times, we are estimating a pickup anywhere from 5 minutes to 30 minutes. The reason for that is because I want to be in the classroom seeing what your students are learning, seeing what my staff is teaching your students as well, and to notice any red flags that may be happening in the class or help prevent any issues that could come up as well. If we can predict it, we can prevent it. So we want to make sure that we're not having me or Miss Heidi or any of the other staff run around picking up students when we should be working with them. So please, please, please try to adhere to these two pickup times because it will make everything a lot easier for the students as well as makes our pickup process go by a lot smoother because if we're only sticking to these two times, those are the times that our students will be packed up and ready to go, making it easier and quicker to get you out of here. So again, this is going to be where our pickup area is. Again, there is the bus only lane, so this is where the buses will need to be. And you will need to exit your vehicle and come up to the pickup area. If you are staying in your car, your student will not be released to you. If that is something that happens frequently where you are refusing to exit out of your car, that will also have to take into consideration your student's enrollment in the program because we want to make sure that all parents are adhering to this rule. If there is a reason that you are not able to step out of the car, whether it be medical, whether just be because you're not able to step out of the car, we are asking that you have somebody with you to help um, pick up the student just so we can make sure that they're going to somebody because especially with our younger students, if they do see a white car, they're going to say, "Oh, that's my parents' car." They're going to walk up to it, they open the door, it's a stranger. They come back, hopefully. So we want to make sure that we're avoiding that situation completely. Leave your cars, walk up to the pickup area. That is where we can dismiss them. Not only that, but that makes it easier to pick up the kids because we don't have to be guessing who is in what car. We don't have to guess who's here, who's all the way in the back. If you come up to the front, that makes that process a lot easier for everyone. And it also makes it easier for us to identify, okay, this parent is for the student. Let's learn their names. Let's start getting them familiar too. And then we are going to be having a bit more parent engagement this year. I'm excited to add in a bit more activities. We are going to be adding more of our buddy program. We're redefining it a little bit more. We've already met with Mark and the Azusa High School Student Union rep, JD, to help go over the whole year. So I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. But as always, please check in with us if you're interested in volunteering. If you're interested in getting some more information or ways to volunteer, we've done that before. We're going to try and make this year as fun as possible, and I want to make sure that we're getting your engagement as well. So please stop by, just check in with us to see how you're doing, how your child is doing, just so we can get more of a relationship building with you guys as well. Okay, now here is going to be the parent portal. If you do need to enroll your students or you need to make any updates, please scan the QR code or use this link right here at the bottom where it says thinktogether.enroll so that we can make sure that we are getting all of your updated information. This is where you can see how to update your authorized contacts. You can see the enrollment information as well as access to the parent-student handbook at all times. This has the most up-to-date handbook, which is the 25-26 school year. So please make sure you read through it and know your rights as well as your students' rights. And again, this is what the parent-student handbook would look like, as well as our newsletter, which is going to be passed out during the first day, as well as posted up on our whiteboard. Again, this is going to be a monthly newsletter that is going to be sent out every month. So please, please, please make sure you get a copy. If you do not get one, please request one from the staff. We'll try and get one sent out to you. Other than that, here's my information. Again, my name is Mr. Christopher. I'm the site program manager here at Valleydale Elementary. Here's my site phone number. You can call and text at any time. If we do not have somebody to answer your phone call or text right away, please still send it so that we can see it when either myself or Miss Mirza comes in the next day. Again, if you do have any other questions that you may not need an urgent response to, please go ahead and send any inquiries over to my site email, which is going to be valleydale@thinktogether.org. All right, if there are any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me on that number listed above, as well as stopping by during program to check in with me. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a beautiful school year. I'm excited to work with your students again. I'm excited for the opportunities we're going to have for them, and I cannot wait to see where this year is going to go. So again, thank you so much for sitting through this, and let's make it a good year, Vikings. Thank you. Bye-bye.